Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for this Saturday, July 9th. And looking at fire potential impacts for today, we are looking for more wind, more low humidity today across Nevada and also into Utah today, but especially into Sunday as this activity moves to the east and in southeastern Utah. By Sunday, winds could be especially strong, up to 55 miles an hour, also accompanied by critically low humidity. Conversely, up into the north in Idaho with showers and much cooler temperatures, that cooling trend will definitely decrease any fire potential. Over the past 24 hours, most of the precipitation is with the upcoming storm system into the Pacific Northwest, but we did have some renegade showers push through into far northwestern Utah, where there were a handful of lightning strikes, as well as up into the mountains of Idaho. We'll have to see how the wind plays on some of these lightning strikes as we go through the afternoon hours. Our recent fire activity, new starts in the past 24 hours given by the circles in red. Circles in yellow indicate existing fires. Open circles indicate significant large fires. Precipitation over the past 7 days on the left, quite dry across much of northern Nevada and into a good portion of Idaho as well. If we look on the right-hand side over the past 30 days, we see that northwestern Nevada has been basically dry for the last month or so, and also significant drying in southern Utah, residual moisture from monsoonal activity a few weeks ago across our southern areas. If we see how this affected our fuel, starting with our ERCs, quite dry across Idaho, and there's been significant drying across parts of Utah as well. Even some areas given by this red circle between the 80th and 89th percentile, so quite critical fuels. And in the south, where a week or two ago all areas were in the green, they've started to dry out significantly as well. On our live fuels, we see that in southern Idaho and in northern Nevada, the sagebrush is down to normally low levels in terms of live fuel moisture, or in some cases even record low levels. And even in the oaks and some of the higher terrain in southern Utah, the live fuel moistures are well below normal and starting to approach record levels as well. Taking a look at our satellite imagery, as we put the maps into motion, we see very deep low pressure bringing tons of moisture into the Pacific Northwest, into Idaho. This is also producing a strong west-southwest flow, and this time of year, that tends to enhance the wind speeds across the region. Even though we have weak high pressure down to the south, most of the monsoonal moisture, due to this low, will remain to the south of us for the foreseeable future. And so for today, our significant fire potential with high risk for wind and low humidity indicated in the orange for much of northern and eastern parts of Nevada, and stretching on to a good portion of Utah. Whenever you see the orange, and even some of these areas that are outside of our region, stretching into parts of Colorado and Wyoming. On the flip side, you see that moisture starting to work into far northwestern Idaho. If we take a look at the weather factors influencing those conditions, on the left you see the wind gusts, strongest wind gusts in the lee of the Sierra Cascades, these purple shades gusting to over 40 miles per hour, similar across parts of Utah as well, and even up in Idaho. But of course, up in Idaho, their humidity will be much higher, indicated by the green here, near or above 40%. The combination of low humidity and wind will be found south of there, anywhere you see the orange to red shades, humidity down to between 10 and 15% in many areas. Now for Sunday, we see that low pressure settling down over central Idaho. Lots of clouds, lots of moisture and rain whenever you see that dark green, but you notice the borderline is right along the southern edge of the Idaho border. South of there in these tannish colors, drier air mass. The tight packing of these yellow lines indicates strong west-southwest winds. And if we look on the right, the combination of those winds and low humidity now shifts further to the east. To the north, they stay quite cloudy, moist with wetting rains. Looking at the weather factors, again, very strong winds, especially pushing eastwards from eastern Nevada into southern and eastern Utah. These purple to brownish shades indicate wind speeds approaching 50 to 55 miles per hour with gusts. And again, you see the driest humidity levels in the red across our southern areas. As we go into Monday, that low pressure system pushes off to the north and east. Another low comes on in, and as long as we have these low pressure systems pushing through the northern tier of states, we will not see any strong monsoonal pattern. That means drier conditions for our southern areas. Our dryness levels on the right, no high risk, but we will see a gradual drying trend, but very moist across the northern third of our region. And on the weather side, you can see the winds dying down, near calm across much of the Nevada area and diminishing across Utah as well. So no significant weather issues to speak of on Monday. Humidity again driest to the south. Precipitation over the 3-day period, you can see that the wettest will be across parts of Idaho, where they could see over 2 inches of rain in far northern areas, not too far from McCall. But once you get right towards the southern edge of Idaho, little to no precipitation. As we go into next week on Tuesday, you can see still we're in between two low pressure systems to the north. Very dry air across our region, dryness levels on the right. And pushing through the rest of the week as we go into Wednesday. Again, we stay dry across our area. You see more brown expanding on the map. As we go into Thursday and we go into Friday, we see again areas starting to dry out, even some moderate drying across far southern Idaho, still staying quite moist across our northern region. And on the left-hand side, you can see that still low pressure off the southern Canada coast, so drier air and no semblance of any monsoonal moisture. That's well down south of the U.S. border. Taking a look at our precipitation over the next 7 days, most of it's going to come in the next 2 or 3 days. That's the precipitation we mentioned up in Idaho. Otherwise, we stay dry, and the fuels across the southern half of our area will continue to dry to well below normal levels. And the 8 to 14-day outlook, as we go into July 16th to the 22nd, this below normal signature indicates low pressure in the vicinity, which will keep westerly, southwesterly winds going, and more importantly, on the right-hand side, drier than normal conditions. No monsoonal relief coming in. Not too much in the way of lightning either. So we'll have to see how things go with new fire starts. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.